Hello Aries, what's going on? Welcome to your November video. This is going to be covering astrology, as well as we're going to be pulling some cards for you guys for the month of November. If you're new to my channel, thank you and welcome. My name is Gobind and this is your channel for grace. And yeah, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up, and I would love if you put a comment below to let me know how this reading resonated with you. Also, check out my November astrological video where I cover in detail these events and how they're going to be affecting us in a collective way. If you want to book a personal reading with me, tarot or astrology, natal astrology chart reading, you can do so on my website at channelforgrace.guru. So we're just gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna actually try. I'm gonna try something new for these readings. I've already cleared the space and said a prayer, so you can take a moment right now while I shuffle the cards to say your little prayer and thank your spirit guides for guiding you towards this video today, because it really is a guidance. And especially if you're new and if you just found this randomly, and know that these readings are also timeless. So you might just be hearing this exactly when you need to hear it. So I'm going to just go ahead and begin your reading, Aries. And, you know, the main thing that we have going on this month for you, I mean, for everybody, we're going to start the month off with a Mercury retrograde. And literally that's today. If you're watching this video on the day that it was released, today begins the Mercury retrograde. And it's going to be a really long retrograde. It will be happening in your 8th house of death, sex, money, and transformation. And because it is in Scorpio, what we are having to do here is really dive deep and try to understand why things are happening in our lives. And for you, it really activates that energy of Scorpio and also Pluto, who is, you know, the god of the underworld, and he helps us walk through the darkest times in our lives. So this is going to be pretty significant for you. This is happening, you know, from the beginning of the month all the way to the 20th. First card we get is the 3 of Swords for you. So there's something in there about broken heart, heartache, healing a broken heart. It could also be, you know, you're going through this transition because there's something about forgiveness, and it has to do definitely with relationships. So for you, it could be very much connected to this energy of healing within your relationships and healing your heart and learning to forgive and understand why things happened, you know, the way they did in your relationships. You know, Venus is also going to be moving into Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. Right now, Venus is in Scorpio. And so as it moves into Sagittarius, we're going to get a little bit of a breather. We're going to feel a little bit better. We're going to feel like we can relax, get back to more lighter energy. And this is going to be happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. And so the 9th house is about things that manifest in our lives in a spiritual way. It's about learning about spirituality. Sometimes it's about higher education. Venus moving into Sagittarius in your spiritual house, and you literally just getting this 3 of Swords card is like bringing the realm of relationships to a spirituality, to the spiritual realm. And so your relationships are going to be evolving. Like, that's what I'm feeling. It's like your relationships are going to be changing. They're going to be transforming. You're going to be understanding so much about relationships. And it's going to be a spiritual thing, not just figuring things out on a relationship level, but at a higher level. You may even discover after, you know, a broken heart that you've had, that there's someone else out there or other relationships that will take the place of the, you know what I mean? That will not take the place, but will replace something that feels like it's missing in your life. This 2 of Wands card that you get next is about balance between wanting to see the proof of things, and also just allowing yourself to feel into your intuition, to allow your intuition to just tell you what's right for you. It's interesting because this card also represents the likely formation of a partnership with a compassionate and generous person. So I feel like after, a broken heart or a wounded heart, you're coming back to higher and more elevated, more spiritual partnerships. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship. You have to remember that. I think we like to focus a lot on love, but it's really not just about love partnerships. This is about relationships in general. On the 12th, there's going to be a full moon in Taurus, which will be happening in your second house. And this is your house of the things that you value. It's going to be a really beautiful full moon. It will let us sort of take a little break, a little breather, and connect to the earth again. You get the Empress. The Empress is the connection to Mother Earth. It is the connection to your roots, bringing yourself a moment to really ground. So this full moon in Taurus is going to really help you ground. That's going to be the focus for you. And understand like where you're at in the 3D, in the physical time-space reality. Mars is also, he's your sign's ruler, Mars. Mars rules Aries, but it will be moving into Scorpio. And it actually also really likes being in Scorpio. The two signs where it feels really powerful or really strengthened at are Aries and Scorpio. And so right now, for you, this is going to be happening in your 8th house as well. So there's a lot of Scorpio energy. And because you're Aries, all the houses for you, they line up really, they perfectly line up with the natural ruling of the houses. And so your like experience of all these things tends to be sort of like right on it. It doesn't have, it's very potent. That's the word I'm trying to get. It's very potent, which, easy to see because you get the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is, the kings and the queens in the deck are the beings that represent being very much in charge of their energy, very much connected, sort of, they have mastered their energy. And so the King of Wands has mastered his ability to create. He has mastered the element of the wands, which is fire, which is very much Aries-like. Aries is a fire sign. And so you're going to feel, when Mars moves into Scorpio, you're going to feel your strength coming back. You're going to feel your power coming back. It's going to feel really good. The sun will move into Sagittarius. And Venus will conjunct Jupiter, and the new moon will be in Sagittarius at the end of the month. And all of that is happening in your 9th house. What we get for you here, these two cards, which interestingly enough, they are actually, they look to me like they are very Scorpio energy, these cards. You get the Tower, and you get the 9 of Swords. Both of these cards feel like they have this sort of darker energy. But you, because you are ruled by Mars, it's like you're not really afraid of it. You kind of tend to really just go for it. That's what Aries is. That's like your gift. If I would say you have a superpower, it's like you go for it. You get things done. The Tower moment is here because there's a huge, because there's so much happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. You are going through a big shift. You're going through a big transition, and it is spiritual. And many times we have these Tower moments because we need to let go of things from the past. For you, it's very much connected to a relationship from the past or a love that you've had in the past. And so this Tower moment is coming in, so it will allow you to find more balance in your life. It will allow you to find way more grounding in your life. But these transitions don't feel good. They don't feel good, but they are necessary. You can actually avoid tower moments if you listen to your intuition and if you follow your truth. Because usually if you resist the clues, if you resist your intuition, if you resist this energy, what happens is you end up bringing in a tower moment where the universe has no choice but to like remove you and put you somewhere else, because progress is what's going on here for everyone. And so when the universe has to force you into it, then it doesn't feel good. But if you listen to the clues and if you go with the flow of the healing that's coming up for you, that's where you're going to feel your power rise. That's where you're going to feel the King of Wands energy really brighten up for you this month of November. And it's such a fiery month. We've got so much Sagittarius. We'll be moving into Sagittarius season, which is about curiosity, being, awakened or awake, noticing, wanting to expand. And it is the last month that we feel this energy. After this month, we begin December right away with Capricorn energy. And so this is, I've mentioned it in the November video, the astrology video for November, that this month is going to be a very, very important for us to really walk through those doors, those portals that open up for us. What you want to move away from is this Nine of Swords energy, where you feel like you're still suffering, where you feel like there's loss in your life, where you feel like there's misery in your life. This is what you're walking away from. And if you can see in this picture, has the moon. It's a sacred divine feminine image, and she's holding the moon in her hands. And, the swords haven't gotten to her yet. They're hovering above her, but they haven't gotten to her yet. And so what this means is you hold this power, and it's linked with the moon for you this month. It's linked with the full moon in Taurus and the new moon in Sagittarius. These two moons are going to be very powerful moments for you to either meditate or take some time to be with yourself, to listen to your intuition, to listen to your spirit guides, whatever, just pay attention to the days of the moons. That's going to be November 12th and November 26th. And we end the month with Neptune going direct in your 12th house, which is the natural ruling house for Neptune. So like I said, a lot of the natural rulerships are a part of your chart naturally because you're Aries and you are the first sign. Definitely watch your moon sign and, rising sign and stuff like that, so you get more complete message of the month for you. Because some of these signs will resonate more and some will resonate less. So you just go to the one that, watch them all and then give yourself a moment to take it in and say, which one do I resonate with the most? It's amazing how we receive messages sometimes when we're watching a completely different sign. It's crazy that, but it's because we have all the signs in our charts too, whether it's a house or whether it's a planet that has that specific sign alignment for you. We all feel all of these energies. So we all resonate with a little bit of each one. So that's what I would recommend, is that you make sure to watch the rising sign, the moon sign, and even the Venus sign, especially because of the relationship stuff that came up for you here. And also pay attention to the moon days. And Neptune going direct in the 12th house will activate the dream world for all of us. You get the element of wind card from the Shaman Oracle deck. And when I think of this element of wind, and I think of the fact that Aries is a fire sign, wind, feeds that fire. And that's actually a beautiful description of what's going on for you this month. The wind is kicking up, and it starts with the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio for you in the 8th house, and then it picks up more strength when Mars moves into Scorpio, also in your 8th house, and that is the fuel that feeds your fire, and allows you to connect more deeply towards this last month of opportunities, and then lets you get right back on track with that tower moment so you can release your attachment, so you can let go of anything that feels like it's holding you back, any grief, any loss, anything from the past, by using the strength of the moon and the major moons in this month, and then getting ready for December, because that's really what we're all doing. November is getting ready for December. But yeah, so this is going to be a powerful month for you, Aries. I can't wait to see how it unfolds for you. I hope that this reading resonated with you. And again, let me know in the comments what was your experience of the reading, and what resonated with you the most. So thank you again, and don't forget to watch the November astrology video if you have not yet, and I will see you again very soon. Sat Nam.